Crowdestor is currently the P2P lending platform with the highest potential returns on your P2P investments. But high returns always come with higher risks. In today's interview, we will be talking with the CEO and co-founder of Crowdestor, Janis, and we will be discussing some of the latest developments and answering your questions that you have submitted to us on P2P Empire. So hi Janis, and thanks for joining me today.
Hi Jakob. Hello everybody.
So some of the viewers might not be familiar with P2P lending because a lot of the investors invest on P2P marketplaces. So can we start by you explaining a little bit of the business model behind P2P lending and explaining the deals that Crowdestor is offering?
Yeah, so basically we are a crowdfunding platform, but a platform which offers not claim rights in consumer loans, but we offer to lend money directly to operational companies. So that's basically the main difference, that we are offering investments in companies, not lending money to.
How are those investments typically secured?
Basically, we have both real estate projects where you can have this first-hand or second-hand collateral on the real estate. At the same time, we have operational businesses as the borrowers, where in each case, of course, it depends. The collateral depends what this operational company, what kind of assets does it have.
And you also have a provisioned fund, correct?
Yeah, we have also implemented, so in the beginning we called it buyback guarantee fund, but in the beginning of this year, because of couple of other market players who were using also these words, we decided, but I didn't operate with the best intentions. And then we decided that we shall recall it provision fund instead of the buyback guarantee fund, because the idea of this fund is to compensate a part of losses in case if there are such, if a company has defaulted. This provision fund is the budget is from our commissions. We decided that 1% from our fee, not 1% from our fee, but 1% from the deal, which would be our fee, goes into this provision fund. And then in case if there will be losses in some of the projects, then according to calculation formula, we would compensate a part of losses. The idea is not that we are guaranteeing like fully that we will compensate and cover all the loan completely. The idea is that a part is being compensated. So basically 10-15% from the loan.
And those 10-15%, they will be divided across the entire loan book, correct? Not just into one specific loan.
Currently, the idea is the following: that so we assume that the potential default rate could be approximately 10% from all the loans. So we, at the moment, if we have this provision fund, approximately 400,000 euros, and the outstanding amount of loans about 35 million. And for example, let's take an example. If a project which has 500,000 euro loan goes bankruptcy, then the formula is that these 500,000 are divided by 3.5 million, which is 10% from the 35 million outstanding. So we get 500,000 divided by 3.5 million is approximately 1/7. and then this company can get 1/7 of the provision fund. So that's approximately, say, 40,000, which is very close to 10%. When the time goes, the outstanding amount also changes, of course, but still there is this mechanism how this fund grows, and these compensated. Yes.
So this is basically just like another security layer. The main collateral should actually cover more of the potential loss than this provision fund,
Yeah,
correct?
Exactly. And this is, let's say, this is the in case if something hasn't been recovered fully, then this is an instrument how we partly compensate.
We received a few questions from our community, and one of the investors was wondering whether this provision fund is not too expensive for Crowdestor, considering it provides marginal guarantees. So what would you comment about that?
Yeah, actually, it is quite expensive for us, because in case if on average our commission is 5% from each deal, then 1%, which actually is 20% from our total fee, goes into this provision fund, which is quite a lot. That's why some couple of months ago we decided that this amount will be not 1% but 0.5%, which is not so expensive anymore. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to a little bit of a different topic. In the last year, we have seen plenty of P2P lending platforms that scammed investors, and many of those were operating in the P2B segment, let's say. How did those kind of events affected Crowdestor?
Of course, this made us a negative impact, of course. First of all, we got, I would say, when it happened in January, we got about 10 or 20 times more emails and phone calls than we usually did. So it was administratively from administrative aspect, very hard to process and to manage this huge amount of communication. Of course, many people lost trust in this industry, which we also see because the activity from investors has declined. But then, on the other hand, it is very hard to precisely understand what is the main reason, whether these scams or COVID, because these scams were in January, and then in March this COVID happened, and also made a very serious negative impact on economy in general. And people understand it. Let's say if it's such a serious crisis as it currently is, because some sectors has like tourism, for example, is I think in the last 20 years, never tourism has experienced anything like this. So during such crisis, people understand that they would prefer to save money instead of investing. So both of these aspects has caused us problems. It's hard to decide which one actually made the impact bigger, the scams or the COVID.
If we just look at the scams, did it somehow change the way you operate? Did you guys prepared some kind of a strategy how to maybe be more transparent, how to improve the communication with investors, etc.?
Well, I think we did, because honestly speaking, this year we have made ourselves this year as a year of improvements. We try to work a lot to become more transparent, to communicate more, to explain more, to give more details, information. Also, we have been working seriously on developments like this SME automated SME scoring, but this is another topic. But basically, yes, because of course, from the beginning of this year, this word transparency was really the most popular word from investors. We understand it, of course, it's very clear, but we try to do it. But in general, I think that this industry still is very young. The crowdfunding industry is very young, and yes, this is very hard year for everybody, for not only for I mean, for all the parties, for investors, for platforms, and also for borrowers. I hope stabilize and after, let's say, next year, after another year, this confidence will come back. So in general, I believe in this concept, crowdfunding.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the latest developments of Crowdestor. I've noticed in the last few weeks you published, you kind of started the secondary market where investors can sell and buy investments, and that's actually improved the liquidity of the portfolio quite a bit. And I've seen this morning there were over 4,000 offers on the secondary market. And I was wondering how much of the total loan volume of the loan book of Crowdestor is currently on sale on the secondary market?
I think that I have to check statistics again, but I think that we have about 150,000 investments. So 4% means that it's about 3% from investment amount is on the secondary market. In my opinion, that this number is not, it's actually a little number in my opinion. Plus, if we analyze the deals, then we see that lots of those deals are actually with very little discounts, and even some of them are with the premium.
Okay.
There are a couple of problematic projects which, if we are analyzing the secondary market, it's clear which are those projects, because some of them are offered with very high discounts. But I think that 3% from all the amount of transactions, that shows actually that investors have trust in the projects and in our platform.
I also noticed that the premium or discount percentage is calculated based on the expected return, correct?
Yeah, it currently is, but actually we will change this. So we will show, we are planning to launch some of improvements in secondary market this week. So my idea is that more logically it would be to show this discount versus the principal, not principal plus interest, which you expect.
For me, as an investor, when I look at the secondary market, I always like to see more information about the individual projects, such as what is the payment progress, what is the payment schedule, and how was the payment history of this one borrower. And when I look at the secondary market right now and I click on the project, I don't have access to this information. Do you think, is this something that a lot of investors are looking for, or you see it as a rather unimportant aspect?
We made this decision that all the information for the summaries also will be available for all the projects, also in case if you haven't invested in that. Also, if those have been already funded and they're closed, also repaid. And also we will do some updates regarding that it's easier for you to see the status, as you said. So you have more understanding this company. Yes, you see what is the loan principal, what is the remaining part, what is the price, you see it. But I understand that it's important to understand let's say, the historical behavior of this company. Has it been paying or no? Yes. So this will be.
Do you also plan like a dedicated statistics page?
Yeah, we also have launched this cabinet. At the moment in cabinet, you can see your own investments versus all. You can see like your personal performance of your personal portfolio, but very soon we plan also to make like an overall statistics of all the loans.
Well, because that would be really interesting. As of right now, it's very hard to see how much of the loan book is problematic, how much are payments on time, and for the investor, I think it would increase the transparency quite a bit to be able to evaluate
Yes.
how the performance is going.
We definitely will do it, because I understand currently if one has diversified more, he sees that his portfolio is let's say 15-20% late. In the same time, somebody who has 1, 2, or 3 investments, he could have 60% late, or even 100%, because it's also possible that it's 100% late in case if you have 1 or 2 projects, of course. So that's why it would be useful to see the overall picture, the total picture, that you understand how the loans are, what the status.
This brings me also to another topic which concerns the updates of projects. As of right now, or for a long time, you have been updating the investors on a dedicated Facebook group, if I'm not mistaken, and those updates were not visible on the Crowdestor website, correct?
Yeah, so usually we send updates via emails to all investors in those projects. We also made this Facebook group because well, it's sometimes it's convenient to, let's say, to a group of people to see updates also there. Now we have launched this cabinet, and we are putting all the updates there. We are still going to improve, of course, also cabinet, because this is just the first version. We want to make an option to upload files, pictures, videos, so people can see not only like a text of an update, but to some kind of documents and pictures, which gives more insight about the company, how it's actually doing.
Because if I'm not an investor on Crowdestor and I would like to get some information about the historical performance of the loans, as of right now, I feel like it's very hard to gather any information. I will not have access to the Facebook group because I don't have the Crowdestor investor number, and on the platform itself, there is very little information available in regards of the historical performance. So I believe that being able to show updates also to investors that have not invested in a dedicated project would allow them to better access the asset class or the deals that you're providing on Crowdestor, right?
Yes, I totally agree, and this is something what we are working on already. So quite soon you will be able to see the situation about all the loans and also updates about the projects.
One of the developments was also the credit rating, which you have introduced on Crowdestor, and I've seen this already launched on several projects, but it's not made for every specific project, correct?
Yeah, so I'll explain. In the beginning, so at the moment, we have a specific segment which is called SME segment. So we have a very standardized this procedure. We have implemented this automated scoring, which connects lots of databases, which gathers information, and in the end, it generates a report on 15 pages and shows investors why exactly are we giving money to this company, what kind of ratios it has, what kind of rating, probability of default, expected loss, and like 20 other ratios it shows. So the SME sector projects will always have this report. The next segment which we have is the so-called specialized investment projects, which can be different type of projects which you simply cannot score in such a way as you can score the SME companies. Yes, so basically movies or concerts or some kind of development projects. This segment usually offers also very often offers success fee for investors. Yes, we have a mobile game with the big name very soon to be announced as the face of the game. And then the last sector which we are planning also to introduce more standards in this sector will be real estate. So we also want to make it more standard with like simple standards, that there is always a valuation, that there is always this loan to value, not more than X amount. So yes, so very soon people will be able to diversify across these three segments and understand more how precisely each what kind of how precisely each of the segment works. That's the plan. Because of course in in specialized segment project, for example, a movie which is going to be, let's say, financed and filmed, of course we cannot do the scoring as we are doing it with an operational company, for example, which is in the transport company, which is in market for 3 years and has annual reports, and that's just not possible.
I've been investing on Crowdestor for almost like 2 years. I invested in a couple of projects to see how it's performing, and I noticed also there is a lot of specialized projects like you have already mentioned, and one of them is also a resort in Cambodia. And for me as an investor, it was very hard to understand how you are able to assess all the risks from Crowdestor's perspective in such a remote country with different jurisdictions and a different, let's say, specialty as typically in the P2B lending market in Europe. So maybe can you explain a little bit more about this specific deal, how Crowdestor found it, and how you were able to assess the risks?
Well, we very often we cooperate with third parties, outsourced third parties, whether it's real estate, whether it's energy sector, whether it's such specific case as it is this Cambodian resort. So we have in-house our own, let's say, legal and financial analyst who does a part, and very often we also ask advice for some third parties. So if we talk about this specific deal, we actually spent quite a lot of time to understand the legal base, how it works there. But as the borrower was a local Latvian person, it was relatively, let's say, easier to get an understanding about the legal situation there and how business works there. But of course, it's a lot more time consuming and more complicated to analyze such projects than simply analyzing an entity here in Latvia.
Do you think that Crowdestor will move more towards towards those kind of deals in Asia or on the global market, or do you see yourself more staying within Europe?
Well, if we talk about, I think each sector has its own development path. If we talk about the SME sector, then SME sector will, now we have started operations here in in Latvia and Estonia. The next countries potentially are country. We have a list which we're still analyzing, which will be, but potentially Ireland, Germany, Czech Republic, Spain, Italy, or France. If we and then more and more countries, but of course, European Union will be the first ones. If we talk about specialized projects, it's not that we spend one day on analyzing the company. Sometimes we spend, I think, 1 year. There are projects where we have spent 1 year on this due diligence process. So yes, it can be such a different type of very exotic projects or locations. If we talk about real estate, then it will be also, we will start definitely with Latvia, Estonia, with Baltic countries, and then most probably we will soon try to expand to other countries. Yeah, I think these if we talk about the specialized projects and especially about the exotic projects, then it is very, sometimes it's very, the potential is very big, yes, because in Asia, let's talk about this Cambodia, yes. Currently, as tourism has fallen for about 70% in 2020 comparing to numbers in 2019, also the prices has fallen dramatically there. So today it is possible to buy assets where price was 1 year ago, let's say 1.5 million euros. Today the price is 400, 500,000 euros. Of course, after COVID, after this global pandemic, tourism will recover and also the prices will go up. But I'm just saying that there is a potential. There is very big potential.
All right, let's talk about a different topic for a minute. One of my experiences with Crowdestor was the lack of support to my liking. When I reached out to the support with questions, basic statistics questions, often I have not received any answer. So I'm wondering if you are aware of any delays in answers, or how is the current support situation on Crowdestor?
Yes, of course. I'm informed that we have some delays in giving answers. We understand this problem. We are trying to improve. One of the main reasons for these delays in communication was that we didn't have this cabinet and we didn't have any statistics in the dashboard. So every investor just wrote us an email asking what's the reason of this delay and that delay. And of course, if we receive hundreds of emails in one day, then it's very hard to process them and to answer all of them. So once we have launched this cabinet, we still want to launch a couple of improvements that really investors can find all the information there, and then also it will be a lot easier to answer to all of emails without any delays.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
all right.
We informed and we how to say, admit that currently we have had such problems. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I think that you are investing a lot of resources for the development as of right now in the stage of the project.
That's true. That's true.
All right. I got two more questions from investors. One is a little bit off Crowdestor specifically, but it concerns your colleague who is now the head of product, I think, Mr. Gaisari. He was previously Yeah, exactly. He was previously leading the loan originator Monify, and Monify had some issues on other marketplaces and got suspended on Vyventor. And investors are asking if you know what Mr. Geysari intends to do in order to solve this situation, or if he is still somehow connected to Monify.
It's a little bit sensitive question. I don't want to, I think, comment on behalf of him. He is informed, and he knows, of course, that many are asking such a question, and he will give some comment from his side himself. So I think that would not be legally from my side to comment.
All right. And the last questions, people are wondering if there is going to be in some kind of information on the project overview page where they can see how much the borrower has invested of its own funds into this specific one of the specific projects. Some kind of a skin in the game ratio for projects. Is this something you think will be possible in the future?
Yes. We are actually very open to any kind of suggestions in case if people have some ideas what should we improve. We're very open to receive them and to analyze, because what we want to do, we want to become a friendly and an open and a platform which gives information to investors. Yes. So in case if there are any other ideas and suggestions, then please send us.
All right, Janis. Thanks for all your answers. I appreciate you took the time to talk with me. I know you're a very busy person, and I wish you best of luck. I hope all the plans that you have for Crowdestor will soon to be realized, and that investors will benefit from all the improvements in terms of statistics and transparency. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see what you guys come up with.
Thank you very much for the discussion. It was interesting. Goodbye.